And let's start with the different types of hunger so we can kind of understand those first. So what are the different types of hunger and the reasons behind each one?
So great question. There's the emotional hunger and physical hunger.
Okay.
And then there's actually 9 different types of hunger. And those are eye, ear, nose, mouth, cellular hunger, stomach hunger, touch hunger, heart hunger. I think I got them all. And with the practice of mindful eating, it's important to understand what type of hunger your body is craving. So an example is, if you look, for eye hunger, you look at a beautiful piece of chocolate cake with mousse and whipped cream, your belly says no, and your eyes say yes.
Oh.
Understanding what those types of hunger are. How do you satisfy eye hunger? Really, is it looking at beautiful images? Is it finding other ways to satisfy your eye hunger? And if you do notice it and you do choose to eat, that's okay too. When we take away the judgment and just recognize it, it's awareness and choice. You learn to respond versus react.
Got it.
And often, when we look at eye hunger or mouth hunger, those types of things, they override our stomach hunger because of the sensation. So that when we're present, we're satisfying more of those types of hungers. When we're mindlessly eating, they're not satisfied. So think about like mouth hunger, and mouth hunger is different for everybody. What satisfies me is going to be not satisfactory to you. I might love hot and spicy, and you might find it physically uncomfortable. And mouth hunger is based on your family food habits, genetics, cultural traditions, as well as conditioning. So I might find if you have access to farm stands, I grew up where peaches were sweet and juicy and succulent and dripping down my hand. People who live in the city, they're used to like hard, crunchy peaches. And that is their conditioning and their preference. So it's important to understand how we satisfy our hunger, our mouth hunger, is to clue into what is our conditioning.
Ah, interesting. While you were talking about chocolate cake, I think I had ear hunger.
Yeah, and that's another example.
I never noticed that before, but I think I just had ear hunger. I was like salivating while you were talking about chocolate cake.
And ear hunger is about the words that you're hearing. It could be about somebody sharing their eating experience, or it could be, the crunch of what you're hearing. So let's just say that you have a candy bar is being unwrapped and you hear that crackle. All of a sudden that could trigger, I'm hungry. Or the refrigerator door opens. All of a sudden you're focused on hunger, on food, what's inside the refrigerator. So it's very fascinating to take those pauses and to go through those exercises of what type of learning to identify your hunger. And it's not going to make it go away. It's just giving you more power and with the awareness to create choice. And you can learn, I'm actually sharing, I have a bunch of videos that talks about the individual types of hunger that you can find on my YouTube channel. So you can learn more about those as well.
Oh yes, I'm definitely going to check those out. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's more, like you said, about having aware, like I was never aware of ear hunger, eye hunger, any of these other types of hunger. And in that moment, you just made me aware of what ear hunger was, and I experienced it. So then it gives you that mental process around it. And then you can kind of have that space between, a reaction and a choice.
Yes. Touch hunger, because when we are deprived of touch, that causes a lot of psychological damage. So noticing, eating with your fingers is a way to be in touch with touch and, with what you're experiencing. And touch hunger has to do not only with your hands, but also with your mouth and your lips. And it can be a very sensual, connecting experience. So there's so many different nuances on, it's learning to connect to your body is not just about hunger and fullness. It's learning to really understand that body speak. What are the messages that are happening within your body?